Okay, moving right along with our examples. So we've seen adding, subtracting, and multiplying and dividing to both sides. We're now going to see those same examples. 8 over x equals 4. Now, the x is on the bottom. The x hasn't been on the bottom yet. But as we saw in the last set of notes, if you have something on the bottom, you simply times both sides by that something. So if I have x on the bottom and you like poetry, I simply just times both sides by that something. One more time. If I have an x on the bottom, I simply times both sides by x. If I have a 5 on the bottom, I simply times both sides by 5. So I have an x on the bottom, so I'm simply going to times both sides by x, putting them in the perfect location. X, I'm going to use a dot for times. I also use two backwards c's, or a backward c and a forward c for my x to make it look prettier. On the left-hand side, we have x over x, which is 1. Cross it off. Then we have 8 equals 4 times x is 4x. Now on the right-hand side, I have a coefficient of the variable. I'm doing 4 times x. The opposite operation of times is divide. So I'm simply going to divide both sides by the coefficient on the variable. On the right-hand side, 4 over 4 is 1. Cross it off. And 8 divided by 4 on the left-hand side is 2 equals x. You can mirror it and say x equals 2 if you like, or you can just circle it 2 equals x. Check our answer, rewrite the question. 8 divided by x equals 4. Carefully substitute the x value we just figured out 2 back into the question. For x, 8 divided by 2 equals 4. On the left-hand side, 8 divided by 2 is 4, so 4 equals, the right-hand side is 4. Near the question, x equals 2 circled, check mark. Now, there must be a quicker way. So, if we have the same question, 8 over x equals 4, we can simply cross multiply. We can simply times both sides by x, crossing x off and putting it where it belongs. Whoa. Shut down. That was interesting. Okay, excuse me. So, again, sorry about that. Rewriting the question, 8 over x equals 4 off to the right. And then simply cross multiplying. Crossing off the x, timesing both sides by x, and putting it where it belongs. Crossing off the 4, dividing both sides by 4, putting it where it belongs. Notice I don't care that it's off to the left. It's just there, on the bottom. On the left-hand side, we have 8 divided by 4 equals 2. On the right-hand side, it says x, so 2 equals x. Again, be very careful with these shortcuts. Okay, let's take 24 over 2x equals 3. So again, in the last question, I had x on the bottom. So I times both sides by x. Now I have 2x on the bottom, so I want to times both sides by 2x. So 2x times 2x. On the left-hand side, I have 2x over 2x. Cross it off. So we have 24 equals 3 times 2 is 6. X. Now on the right-hand side, I'm doing 6 times x, and the opposite operation is divide, so I'm simply going to divide both sides by 6. On the right-hand side, 6 over 6 is 1. Cross it off. On the left-hand side, 24 divided by 6 is 4. Watch me mirror the answer. So again, rewriting the question, 24 divided by 2x equals 3. Carefully substituting the x value I just figured out, substituting with brackets, 4 in for x. On the left-hand side, we have 24 on the top. On the bottom, we have 2 times 4, which is 8, equals 3. On the left-hand side, we have 24 divided by 8, which is 3. On the right-hand side, we have 3. Excuse me, do not circle your checked answer. But near the circled x equals 4, check mark. Now, let's see a quicker way, rewriting the question. 24 divided by 2x equals 3. Let's simply cross multiply. Times both sides by x. Times both sides by 2x, cross multiplying it up to the right beside the x. Now, on the right-hand side, we have 3 times 2, and I'm just going to cross it off where it is and write the 6, the answer. Now, it's on the top on the right-hand side, so I can simply cross it off and put it down below the left-hand side of the answer on the left. On the left-hand side, we have 24 divided by 6, which is 4. And on the right-hand side, we have x equals 4, check mark, same answer. So not being afraid if we have x on the bottom, just simply timesing both sides by x, or simply timesing both sides by whatever is on the denominator. Be very careful with multiplying and dividing to both sides, because so far we've just taken a look at one thing on both sides, where it looks a lot simpler to do some of these shortcuts. But when there's going to be binomials, meaning 2 terms on one side and a term on the other, or more than that, it's going to be more difficult to see these rules, but I'm always going to show the shortcuts.